Welcome, everybody. Upcoming events every week. Oh, it's not on here, but I should probably put this on here once we get past this first one. Fellowship. Most of you are in it. Um, but yeah, we're doing the fellowship every Wednesday nights. We have a cinesomatic relation. This is our partner diagnostic. So it's a two-person diagnostic. It's one of the only workshops where we have that. So if you want to figure out how you interact with other people and maybe why you don't have the relationships you want in your life, or why you might be struggling in the relationships in your life, this will change everything for you. It's in person here in Nashville. We have Cinesomatic Exploration. This is our sort of, yeah, whatever comes up. We have dancing, we do movement, therapy, healing, all sorts of stuff. And exploration, that's our online weekend workshop. Um, Slackline, that's where we walk on the slack line. And how you walk on the slack line is how you walk through your life. Very bizarre sounding to a lot of people, but also very revealing. That's, of course, here in Nashville, because we can't set up a slack line over Zoom. If we could, that would be neat. Cinesomatic Lifemap 2 weekend workshop. We just got finished with our second part last weekend. A few folks here are going to be sharing about it before we go into Joe's video. And then the Mysteries 10-day retreat. This is the big event of the year. This is our essentially family reunion. People around the world come in and spend 10 days going into the mysteries and doing cinesomatics and energetic stuff and symbolism work and dream work and archetype work and all sorts of really amazing stuff in person here in Tennessee. All right. So let's start off with those of you that would like to share about your experience over the weekend. Anna?
I'll share. Um, yeah, I had a um incredible realization about some sexual shame around my first intimate relationship that I had no idea was still there. I thought that I had like processed this, cleaned it up, put it away, ancient history. Um, and the way that it came up in the workshop was fascinating. Andrew was having us, each of us, move through the archetypes of sweetness, I think, and then of innocence. And as we were watching the video of me going through innocence, at first it felt like I was like walking through like a new world. Like there was lots of like wonder and like looking around, and it I think it did feel like innocence. But then at a certain point I started like kind of engaging my hands, and it started to feel almost um like enchantressy, which is something that I go into sometimes in certain movements. So that started happening. And then there was just this kind of subtle, like my hips started to like kind of move like this. And all of a sudden it went from this like kind of like innocent child full of wonder to it felt like this kind of enchantress. It felt kind of a little manipulative. Um, and we're watching this, and all of a sudden I just felt like I wanted to cry, and I didn't even know why at first, and then I went into it, and it was like, oh my God, this feels like the like the loss of innocence going into like my first intimate experiences and feeling like I wasn't quite ready to have them, but was trying to like be like I wasn't like totally not ready, but part of me was still like a young girl. Um, and so and then there so then and then I also had a bit of an inner conflict that I saw about like wanting it, desiring it, but also not being ready for it. And so all of this was coming out and I had a huge just like release and was able to kind of move it out of my body. But that was incredible because I had no idea that that was still within me. And it was and it was very powerful. And there was there was lots of feelings of shame and like conflict about wanting it, not wanting it. Um, and then it also was highlighting another kind of um, technique that I've been realizing I do with everything is thinking that I have handled something or that I'm fine or I'm okay, but I'm actually just rationalizing, justifying, explaining, understanding it, and not actually feeling it, um, or letting myself feel it. So that was one little piece of it of the workshop.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Anything else?
um, yeah, I had lots of wanting to do it right, lots of not wanting to get it wrong. Um, Lots of this energy running, which was super frustrating for me and for the group. Um, and so, yeah, just many more, just examples of seeing how different ways that I do that all over the place in my life.
Cool. Great. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the workshop, and for so many ways for myself, and then also to feel how everyone else, what they're going through, and how it touches me in different ways. And it's so beautiful to be a part of this group and um, do these in-depth things that we did during the life map. For me, I went through and saw more and more layers of how I don't um, think I'm worthy enough for, the beauty around me. Um, and it's so layered that I keep penetrating different layers with Andrew, like in the private um, intensive I did. And then here again, it's just like, it's deep. So learning um, that it is just, I, I want to keep going into the layers and penetrating them. Um, and this one thing I've been wanting to take a trip overseas because I've never been overseas. And I have a lot of external conflict with that as far as my family goes. So I already have a lot of unworthiness, but then on top of it, I have that external stuff saying, don't do this. And so there's a lot of layers to work through on moving through that and then just feeling worthy. And I I feel that once I get to that place, life, and I do at some days I feel it, like I do feel worthy, and then everything around me feels worthy, and then my life is just so much richer and beautiful, and I'm involved and I'm engaged, and so I'm kind of right in between. I feel some days, because some days I'm just not there, and but I can feel I'm moving in that direction, and it feels really good.
Great. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
So I'm the only one left. I learned a number of things last weekend. One being how much I share with Hannah, some similarities in how we deal with things, the like not wanting to do things wrong, wanting to get things right. Also, kind of like trying to manipulate the situation. Like there was some point Andrew was working with me and he was pushing me a little bit or something. And I think I began to like squirm inside and just, after a few minutes, I was aware of how I was trying to like control things by these manipulations of like being cute or clever, trying to be funny, or just, deflecting a little, this thing kind of running, and I became aware of it. And it happened once before in another workshop with Elaine, but this was a lot better, a lot more obvious to me, more stronger. Um, what was cool, like after moved on for me, and then I think I went to Hannah, and then I was like sitting there reflecting this thing I had been doing, and I looked at Elaine, and I looked at Jonathan, and I looked at Elias, and I'm like, look at these people. They don't do this shit. It's like when Andrew calls on them, they just answer the best they can and go, don't try to push back. They kind of surrender and go with it. And it really helped me to see these models, people modeling, an
Reference
example,
points. Yeah.
reference points. Yeah. So that helped me. And the other big thing was I was allowed the time and the support and the guidance to process some family trauma, I guess, from like when I was 11, 12 years old or whatever, when the divorce occurred and the family kind of fell apart, and how it kind of messed me up for a long time, and some of the things that took place during that time. And yeah, it was just really helped. I was helped to process that, and I got feedback that it really was pretty messed up, and it was sad and kind of tragic, and it was good for me to hear that, like that. Yeah, that really was fucked up. It's worth processing and grieving, and that
Yeah,
was
that
very
you're
helpful.
worse, that you're worth processing grieving. Yeah.
So that's, yeah, that was good.
Great. You feel better coming out of part two than part one?
Yes.
Good. Thanks for sharing.
Glenn, there's like an ease about you today. I just wanted to mention that. Um, and Hannah and Elaine, when you were talking, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is like what I'm going through as well. Um, like Hannah, when you were talking about, uh, so what I was feeling is how is my pain that I've been feeling for like a long time, and it just gets worse. Uh, of my abandonment, how I go into my own, Andrew calls it introverted hysteria. I kind of live in my own world, and I take myself out of life. Even when I'm at home, I'll just go into my introverted hysteria moment, and it's very painful for me when I feel it. and very frustrating cause like I want my life to be different, but I also know that there's some changes I need to make in how I'm approaching it for it to be different. So it's just kind of painful. It feels like a stuck place a lot of times for me. So yeah, it I was feeling my pain when you when you were talking there. And yeah, and Elaine, I don't remember what I was feeling anymore when when you were talking, but probably something we've talked about on the farm.
Haroon, Joe, you hearing anything? No shares? No. Bye bye.
I definitely feel a difference in Glenn today. Like I haven't really kind of obviously I've not met you in person, but like so you I don't know what you said, Neil. Did you say a lot like calmer? Can't
Feels
remember what you
soft.
said.
He feels softer to me.
Softer. Yeah, yeah. So I feel like a different energy from you today. For definite. Yeah. Even though I don't know you very well.
Cool. You seeing anything, Daroon? Feeling anything? Learning anything? Said about anything?
It's lovely to hear everyone's story um, and yes, yeah, I can hear that. You know, you guys are still going through a lot and processing a lot, but it seems like every time I hear this, there's an extra pep in your step, like a lightness that you've just gone to the next one, and there's something else that you kind of worked through. So it's really cool to see that.
Cool. Joe, would you like to share any bit about your assessment? You don't have to. It was private, but um, if you'd like to share, you're welcome to. If not, that's okay.
Yeah, so it was good, although I say that about everything. Um, yeah, it was interesting to kind of like some things I kind of knew already, but it was to a deeper level and to the extent of how I did it. Um, with the whole like avoidance of everything. Um, and it was interesting to see how that really showed up in my body. With the kind of the looking elsewhere and the um yeah, not connecting at all. Um, like I was rewatching it the other day, yesterday, and even when you were saying about um, uh, I only kind of went bigger in small increments and went smaller in small increments. I was literally shouting at the screen like, "Go bigger, Joe! Go smaller! Come on!" Um, yeah, it was. I think even I need to watch it a few more times for stuff to sink in. Um, but even like I could see because I've seen a video of I think it was when Elaine was at her intensive and you put up a video about the handshaking and everything and the masculine and feminine. I don't even know whether you went into the masculine and feminine then, but I've seen some videos about the masculine and feminine side and stuff. And even when I was shaking my hands and looking back on it, I was like, yeah, I can tell there's differences in either side. So it'd be interesting to like dig deeper into that. Um, but yeah, it was a really interesting, intense experience.
Well, what about the biggest thing?
The biggest thing?
Yeah.
What biggest thing?
No. Yeah. Uh, yeah,
Well,
that
I'm
thing.
not the only one that
Oh,
gets
go on, Hannah. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I'm not the only one that gets amnesia after having enormous breakthroughs.
I forgot that what the exercise was too, so
Yeah, I think I've got you with the big breakthrough.
Yeah.
With what do you mean with the whole shining and
Yeah,
worthiness
with
and
the whole how wonderful you are and you won't let anybody know thing. Yeah.
let's just keep that one quiet.
Okay.
No, 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 it's okay. I was just messing. Um, yeah, Andrew brought up the thing about like how I'm putting on a show, um, and how I kind of keep myself dumb so that people don't know how great I am. I hate saying it even.
Yeah, I know.
Um, yeah. And then today, like I had a really crap day at work and felt really crap about what I was doing. So I was like, oh, well, I'm not shining, am I? But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to uncover with me that I need to let down. Let down the wall without smiling and laughing and putting on a show and yeah.
Yeah,
And I think about so I did the exercise before I had the assessment. And looking back on it now, I'm like, such a performance.
well, you want to find out?
No, because I don't even want to watch it.
11, 21, 12.
I want to watch it.
All right, let's take a look.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The 11, 10, 1806, 18. Okay, so this is the first one.
Please don't work. We can just shut down and go. Oh no.
All right. So just what we're going to do, we're just going to take a little look at it and just give you some light feedback. You've done a session with me, so you're officially considered a client and give you feedback. I'm not going to go into big therapy or anything here, but let's just take a look. And some people that are watching this can discover what this process is about, and you get to see what was going on for you when you were doing this. So let's take a little look see, listen sees.
Hey, so this is the first part of my embodiment exercise. What is it? The successful one?
Oh, Andrew, I can't hear it.
Want
Like
me
it's
to
very
go?
soft.
Yeah, well, that's how she recorded it. So
Okay,
you,
I'll turn up my sound.
yeah,
I'm doing completely.
yeah, she's just talking
At this
really
point.
quiet.
Yeah, let's hear how it goes.
Here, maybe I'm gonna try this. Let's see if it's my volume.
Is what is it?
Is that any better?
The successful one?
Yeah, okay. So,
Yup, yup.
well, apparently, when I adjust my volume, it adjusts like my computer volume, which doesn't make sense, but so apparently, um, yeah,
I know what I'm doing.
she's also talking very soft too.
Oh, I do. I do. Yeah, let's hear how it goes.
All right, let's hear how it goes.
Andrew, can you remind me what the exercise was, please? Sorry.
Joe, do you would want to tell us what you're doing here?
So you've got two parts to it. Well, three
So,
parts to it.
Neil, this is from the book.
I know, I don't remember. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, it's so the embodied story to exercise. It has like three parts. It's like your Stucky story, your successful, and then I think opposite or something like this.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one is like where you feel empowered. You're
Yeah.
empowered one.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
That's okay, Neil. I barely remember too. It's a big book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So first off, we see um a certain looking over something, right? So it's like um you're like pleased with what you've done, kind of looking.
It's
Yeah, and
supposed to be like at work, like
yeah,
happy with something at work, doing tasks.
yeah, and you're still doing this playing dumb thing of trying not to be great. This is running through you here too. It's like you did a good job, but you don't want to like allow yourself to feel it. It's like so it's like three layers. It's like you did a good job, but then you don't want to feel it because of the stuff that's running, but then you're doing the exercise to show that you're empowered by it. So you got these multiple layers going on.
And I think I said to you, like, I tried this so many times to record it because I was so stuck in my head of like, no, I can't do it like that. No, I can't do it like that.
So which attempt is this?
Oh, really like the seventh, eighth attempt.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? That tells you
Mm.
probably more than you learned in any of the rest of it.
Mm-hmm. The other one was my first attempt, the stucky one, or the shitty one, as I call it.
What does that tell you? Yeah, so it's all very revealing. As I see in the book, how you approach this exercise is probably going to tell you just as much, or if not more, about what's going on in your life. And the people that don't even do it, what does it tell you about? What does it tell you? If I've had clients come in and they're like, I read the book and, I just felt essentially what they were saying is I felt superior and above doing some exercise in a book. And I wanted you to work with you directly and have you do it. It's like, okay, what does that
All
tell you?
hail Andrew.
It's just a big game. It's a big scam, unfortunately. Um, yeah, and I get it. I've read dumb little trite books that are like, all right, write the 5 things that you like about your family. Um, but you could take even just these very surface level things, and if you go deep with them, you can still get value from them. But most people aren't expecting this depth to come out of a do at your home exercise at the end of a book. They just don't have a concept for it. But the ones that do it, very helpful. And we have at this point, as of this video, over 21,000 people you got the book. And I think out of that, the percentage of people that have made it from hearing of the book and buying the book to being here on this call and getting a free assessment from me has been like maybe 2 people, 3 people. Okay, free call. I'm giving you free public feedback about this stuff with the author of the book. I don't know. If I read a book that was important to me, that helped me, I think this would be an amazing opportunity. I could be biased because it's me. But yeah, it's just very fascinating how many layers of not letting ourselves have what we deserve, what we want in our life. It is such a great reminder for me of like, wow, what am I just 1 or 2 choices away from having something that I'm keeping for myself. It's like, oh, all someone has to do is ask. All someone had to do is get the book, go to my website, join the group, hop on a call, show up, literally show up. And maybe someone gifted the book, so free, 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 free. And still, all the resistance. Um, yeah, it's just an amazing reminder of what is available to us at every moment. You never know. All right, let's watch the rest of this. Yeah, you see all the smiling, right? It's all this sort of very uncomfortable. You're just very uncomfortable with all this. You're also uncomfortable with being, empowered and capable. So for you, the biggest thing is to get through this awkward humor stuff layer. That's the biggest thing that's getting between you and actually accessing the resources from this. And we see that that's what you do in your life too. So yeah, I see there's sadness here. You have the smile. And very, very, very deep down, that you're abandoning yourself at some level. Even though it's just, a smile here. Yeah, it's like you just can't bring yourself to being powerful. Yeah. So it's just there's so many layers between you and us actually knowing what you're capable of. All right. So that was one. What are you hearing on that one?
Me or the others?
You.
Oh, what am I hearing?
Yeah, what do you see in there?
Just a lot of acting, not really knowing what I'm doing, and like I
No,
said, no.
you're playing dumb. You could easily have done that. You're just all the smile, awkwardness. It it feels like you're making it awkward in order to avoid having to own your power.
I felt like I needed to smile in it to show that I was successful, though. I
Well, you
thought that
feel
that
the
was a
need to
big part of
smile
it.
everything. I mean, you
Yeah,
make a joke of everything.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, then let's see what you do in the other one.
So this is the second part of my embodiment exercise, the sucky one.
The sucky one?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we will crack on.
All right. Let's crack it. Okay, so the first thing I see is sort of this um backing away from. Yeah, and that too, that felt, yeah, I don't even want to say half-ass. I mean, I did not feel your heart in that. That was definitely holding back. Because if you're frustrated and stuck, you're not just going, uh, uh, uh. I felt frustrated and stuck. I know. I want to annihilate something. So there's a big holding back there. You got kind of this acting going on with your face stuff. Um, yeah, dropping down to your knees, frustrated, lots of frustration. Agony. There's a little more here, but we can't see you. Yeah, there's actually some stuff in here. Yeah, and this is you being out of your away from the feeling, but this one actually has more sincerity than the first one. You're probably more comfortable and used to the stuckness than being empowered.
It felt more real.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, exactly. That's what that means. Yeah. And you can reverse it, right? If being empowered feels more real, what might that tell you? Yeah, and lots of against your head. So it feels like there's lots of frustration, stuck energy in your head, which makes sense because you're very much in your head. Interesting, the looking around part too. Almost has a sense that you don't know where to go. And the head shaking kind of feels like you're sick of yourself.
that feels real.
Yeah, because deep down inside, you know this game you're playing. Oh, you actually were feeling something on the way out.
Yep.
Yeah, you're pissed off at yourself. Okay, well there you go. There's a little feedback from your embodied story exercise. What are you
Thanks.
what are you hearing?
Um,
Luckily, you just had a session with me, so you're a little prepared from this rather than freshy.
no, no. What am I feeling from it? I don't know, just a whole lot of awkwardness because I knew that it would be awkward seeing it again and knowing that people were watching it. But other than that, I haven't got much else.
Okay.
Just awkwardness, cringiness. But grateful for the feedback.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing that, Joe. You inspired me. I want to go do that myself.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, it's in the book. When was the last time you did it?
I probably a year ago. And I don't think I ever taped myself. I just did it in front of a
Oh.
mirror. So interesting to tape myself and see it.
Yeah, cool. Glenn?
I was just wondering, did you do the last part, the find a new way to move, discover anything there?
I
I
kind of
didn't
avoided it.
Yeah, I didn't get a video of that.
I got stuck, and that came up in the assessment that I was getting stuck with doing it a different way. I just
Yeah,
didn't
like
know
actually
how.
doing it backward or the opposite for her is actually one of her sticking points. So that makes a lot of sense that the part of the exercise that was about that you couldn't even do because you struggled with it in the assessment as well.
And I avoid stuff that I just feel like I can't do. So I just, yeah.
Neil?
Are we giving feedback?
Really. But if you have just a little bit, that's okay.
Oh yeah.
Not like Andrew level of feedback.
Yeah,
But
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can share, sure.
Yeah, Joe, when I was watching the first video, I saw an image of my cousin, and she grew up with parents who are really controlling of her. I mean, like really controlling. Like, don't be out in the sun for more than 15 minutes. Like, just ridiculous. And she just wasn't given the freedom to make a lot of choices of her own. And at family gatherings, when she shows up, even till today, she's in her late 20s now. I saw the similar thing and what you do, with the shifting from side to side, and she'll be laughing and just kind of like moving the head from side to side, right? Trying to not take everything seriously, but then also not taking herself seriously. And it feels painful for me to watch her because I just know what she's been through. And I'm just like, yeah, she's given like no freedom to make her own choices. And now she's just doesn't want to stay in center and face the life that she has. So anyway, so I kind of felt that, and then in the second video felt, your kind of self-disappointment there. And, yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, that really resonated. Like, so parents were really, really controlling, and
Oh,
yeah,
okay, you did. All right.
yeah, that really resonated. Yeah, so thanks.
Yeah,
And like that freedom of like feeling like I was very much in a box and couldn't spread my wings. Sorry, Andrew.
Yeah.
no, it's just really I find it very fascinating um, how things map. That s certain pathologies, certain behaviors, certain um, ways of being in life, what they come from, what causes that. And so if you go through all of the sessions I've done, you can start, and I might do this as the technology gets better, is to start actually mapping this stuff out. I have it mapped out internally, but being like, oh, okay, well, when parents are like this creates this sort of outcome. When you make this choice, these are the things. So I have a lot of that mapped internally. Um, but to actually create some sort of definitive, like my own DSM kind of thing, um, like a Cinesomatic diagnostic manual kind of thing, CDM. Actually, I like the name of that. Um, something that doesn't sound not omnipotent, but uh, what's the word? Omnious. Yeah, omnious. The Diagnostic Statistic Manual 5. Um, but yeah, these things come from stuff. So it's really that's one of the cool things about the group. And as Neil shared, he's like, well, I have this person in my life and this is what happened to them and this is how they act. That's what that reminds me of. And you're like, oh my God, that's exactly what my parents did. Oh, ding, connection.
It's really interesting that she comes across in the same way that I come across.
Yeah,
Similar
exactly.
like parent style, yeah.
Yeah, and there's going to be nuances and differences, but these core sort of threads and patterns, it's like, oh, hmm,
Yeah, and she lives in Singapore, so it's like it's so
Hmm.
global. I mean, these things are so universal. It's incredible.
yeah, it is incredible, huh? Got my work cut out for me. Our work cut out for us. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the visions, to do enough of this and not be in an ivory fucking tower in some ancestral academic circle that is just theorizing all of this hocus pocus bullshit and feeding people pills and electroshocking them and just crazy shit. And actually, through being with clients, through clinical practice, oh, well, this leads to that. Well, okay. Well, if you have that in your life, if you have B, well, something like A probably occurred. My gosh. Yeah. And then what happens if it didn't? Okay, well, maybe there's another cause. Or maybe it did happen, but it was maybe the opposite, right? So maybe there was no controls. Maybe you had too much freedom, and then it causes someone to go neurotic on the other side of the coin. So yeah, it's just kind of mapping out all this energetic, behavioral, mythological, cultural, archetypical, all of these sort of things. Um,
Yeah, I had both of those, Andrew. Both controlling, and then once I got to like the end of high school, just like not. Like I had no curfew, so I just became a nocturnal animal, and I'd like
that's what I
just
did. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I don't have a bedtime. Fuck, I'm staying up till 4 in the morning playing video games.
It was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I'd like get back home at like 6 in the morning or something, and then I'd eat a meal with my dad at like 7 in the morning, and he'd be like, "Is this like dinner or is this breakfast for you?" And in retrospect, I was like, "Wow, he was like really chill about it." But then, as my life would go on,
Yeah. Becomes dysfunctional. Yeah, because it's a
oh
rebellion,
yeah,
it's a reaction formation. I mean, I still have threads of that. Um, not because I'm rebelling, but just because I got so much into the pattern of creative, nocturnal, um, yeah, just I found my quiet in the night when everyone went to sleep versus finding it in the quiet in the morning before people woke up. Um, from a health perspective, it's not good for you. Like you're just circadian rhythm and all of that stuff. Um, but I kind of struggle with that. And it stemmed from my rejection of school, right? Of having to wake up at 6 in the fucking morning to go to the prison. It really was like prison for me. I fucking hated it. As I share in the book, the bullying and just being forced to do this. I mean, I was interested in quantum mechanics and I remember being in the library, the school library, ninth grade as a freshman on the computers and uh, downloading Firefox when it first came out. I was a big nerd. Downloading Firefox, the first version when it came out after Netscape, um, and installing that every time I use the school computers, download it, install it, because then the next time it wipes it. So you just every time you download it, because then you can use it, then bypass the proxies that made you only go to like Barney.com and shit like that. And I went to like programming sites, video game sites, cartoon sites, things like that. Um, what was I saying this? Oh yeah, so I was in the library doing stuff like that, and I remember one day, I don't know, I was looking something about, I came across something about quantum mechanics, quantum physics. Like, what's that? That's a cool word. I just started looking that up. And so I print some stuff out on the library computer at my high school, and one of the science teachers just was in there dealing with his students. And fucking teachers, man, librarians, they're like watching what you're doing. They got tabs on everybody. They don't want you just fucking around, wasting printer paper and all this crap. Ugh, it's just like leave me alone. I don't want to be supervised. I want to I want to run amok. And so I was printing this out, whatever it was, and then he grabs it. 'Cause he's expecting his students' reports or something. And he starts looking. He's like, who is this? Quantum mechanics. Who? What is going on? And he's kid, come over here. And wow, I just remembered his name. And and then he starts talking to me. He's like, what is this? I'm like, fuck, I'm in trouble. And he's like, why are you, do you even know what this is? What are you doing with this? And like, are you like making something? Like, what is this? It's like, oh, just sounds neat to me. And he was like so impressed. Like we became kind of buddies. He like let me into his study hall and I would fix his computer and I would work on his stuff and he'd call me in and have me work on stuff and help me get like sign like after school things to like let me stay and get out of detention, stuff like that. Um but yeah, just I don't know why I got here, but being interested in those things. Um yeah, and then now 20 years later we actually have quantum computers and I don't know what I got so much into that story. I don't even know why I was telling it.
I mean, it's nice that that you had rapport, that kind of relationship with someone
Oh, you're
in the
right.
school,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a teacher or someone there. I mean, that must have felt amazing. For me, I was just like, I did not feel that
yeah.
rapport at all with any of the teachers. I was just like, chain smoking cigarettes. Like, fuck my life. This shit sucks.
I didn't get. Thank God I didn't get into any drugs. Um,
Well, I did. That's what
yeah,
it led me to eventually. Like,
yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah, well, there's a good drug path and there's a bad drug path.
yeah, I did both.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, you want to experience like all of life, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know my certain constitution and personality types, and there's certain things that I just am choosing to not experience because those would probably be very, very bad for me. If I started doing drugs that were addictive, I would take myself out. So I only do nothing, but go to church and
Yeah,
read my Bible and pray every night.
same,
Kiss,
same.
kiss, kiss my girlfriend on the cheek.
That's how I live my
Yeah.
life too, doing nothing,
Yeah.
reading the Bible.
Anybody else have any last questions, last discussions as we start wrapping up here? Amazing. I'm not going to go another half an hour on these calls. I might end just in time with anybody's final closing remarks, thoughts, shares.
Yeah, I wanted to say to Joe, there was a few moments on the call today when I felt like actually felt you for the first time. There was like a few little blips where you kind of like let down that kind of performative piece, and it felt really nice. Um, and I'm excited to feel more of you and to know more of you.
Uh-oh, you're getting excited.
Oops, not excited.
Yeah, when we did the assessment, I'm like, "Oh my God, you're actually pretty wonderful." And don't take that the wrong way when I say actually, but that's the energy you put off, right? You put off this not take you seriously. Um, and I'm like, I was I'm so excited.
Can't help
Jo-
it. We're so excited for her.
I was
Ah,
I was I was very I was giddy because I'm like, oh, next time we get on this call, everybody's gonna be blown away of like actually how capable you are because you're the energy field that you put out about this stuff is so powerful. Like who's this little girl just coming in and making these things and
I
um
like being little Joe.
yeah,
Little Joe's
well,
cute. Thanks, Hannah. When when was those points? That wasn't English. When were those points?
Matzo spokes. It's a matzo spokes.
About to spoke English?
Matzo smokes?
I don't remember exactly.
Hmm. Kata locus sound. Yeah. Baskamat. Tortoise tafatet. Mm-hmm.
Kıvıra tamamdı.
Oh, is Zabat?
Zarim.
Oh, because she said that.
Ciğer. Ciğer.
Hmm.
Yeah, gobbled yeah.
Bas monologue.
Alana mina dulu.
Doo-doo.
I'm so confused.
It's okay to get confused.
Say again.
Hmm?
Say again.
It's okay to get confused.
Muscle tough.
Yeah, no worries.
Bada bing, bada bong.
Boom.
Okay.
Grandma Llama Ding Dong.
No. No. No, you don't do that here.
I think everyone's on the drugs tonight.
Yeah.
Except Glenn and Lane.
Yeah, Basetta Glenn. Are you gonna share?
I don't know the language.
Oh. It's okay.
Desculpa, no understand the language.
You sound like you're a foreign person trying to speak English. Best that it is someday. It's okay. All right, folks.
Take care, everyone.
Have a great night.
You
Bye,
too.
everyone. See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. See some of you guys Sunday.
Adios.
Thanks,
Ciao.
guys. Bye.
Yeah, Sunday.
Bye.